redefining problems, and creating innovative solutions. This presentation will guide you through the journey of unleashing your creativity. You might ask yourself, what is creativity, innovation got to do with project management? The truth is that anywhere you find yourself working today as a manager, you will have to be creative. You will have to be a problem solver. You will have to what Miro is. So Miro is actually a tool that has become quite versatile. When I started using Miro, it didn't have a lot of these functionalities, but it has grown to the extent that it has become something that is very important for project managers. So one of the things I've come to realize about project management is that knowing how to use your tools is actually one of the best things you can do for yourself, because that's the first step that shows that you understand what project management is about. You can't really do project management without knowing how to use the tools that are used for project management work. So Miro is one of those tools, and there are various things that you can do with Miro. As you can see, they have some templates here. There's a Kanban framework. You can do what we call quick retrospective. You can also do what we call mind mapping. You can do a flow chart for times that you have to connect different perspectives, and then you can actually come up with your own chart entirely. So for today, we are going to start by brainstorming first. We can do some brainstorming and think about a problem that we want to solve, and then we can go ahead and create an empathy map, which means we are trying to empathize with the user. What is it that the user is going through? What are the problems that they are going through? And from there, we can now move to the place where we take that empathy and begin to find a solution to it. So to start with, let's go to this empathy map. But before we do that, I'd like for us to look at this brainstorming. As you can see, sorry, it's coming up. Yeah, as you can see, this is something that you're actually used to. It's amazing that some of the things that we see today in the digital world are things that once existed in the physical world. Any of you can remember how we used to use Post-it notes in the office to maybe talk about ideas, gather our ideas into place, and then finally define what exactly that would want to do. So for example, now we can be thinking for this aspect. Now we can decide that, all right, what are the ideas? What is it that we want to solve? For example, I did mention that I wanted to solve the problem of social connection. So I can come and write it here. Social connection is one of the first things that you will have to deal with if you're somebody who came here, because you're coming into a new country, you don't know anybody, you've left all your friends behind in your former country. And so trying to connect with people like you, or people that at least understand you, or people that speaks your language, is something that is very, very important, because you believe that they would understand what you are going through. So if you're already on this thing with me, so please type in your own ideas. I've typed social connection. Another thing that I'd like to type, another idea that I'd like to share here is finding a job. This finding, I don't know whether I say finding a job or finding the right job, because I think that's the problem. Finding the right job. When you come to the UK, one of the things you experience is that you might find a job that you do not like, or you find a job that is not right for you, meaning that even though you can do that job, your circumstances does not allow you to effectively perform on that job. So for example, if you have kids who have to go to school, and maybe school in here opens by 8:30, but your job requires that you are at work by 6 a.m. and you don't have anybody that will help you take your kids to school. You have found a job, but that job is not the right one for you, because there's no way you'll be able to take your kids to school by 8:30 if you have to resume by 6. So ultimately, you have to find something that works for you. So maybe that's the reason why a lot of people take on, the night jobs. Again, if you are somebody who does not like working at night, or whose system is totally averse to working at night, you will struggle in that job, because you will go to the work, you will not be able to deliver, and the next day, your whole body is still a mess. So finding the right job is one example of a problem that I'd like to solve. So we can either do this or we can do this. If you have your own ideas, please type it in. If you are not able to see this Miro, or you are not able to get in, please let me know in the chat and I will answer. Okay, somebody said finding the right school for my children. Yeah, I'll type in that idea. Finding the right school for kids. Please drop in you can drop it in the chat, but it will be better if you actually join me on the Miro. The idea of this program is to teach you skills that you can use, skills that you know how to use, tools that you know how to use, not tools that you watch. Because if you finish watching here and you leave this place and you never actually used this, you will still not be able to master the skill. There's something that is a connection between your brain and your hand. And that is why, if you notice, most of the skilled doctors you have in the world or in the country are people who have gone to that place. If you're a surgical person, you have gone to the theater, you have operated. You can't do medicine by watching online video. No, you have to do it. And so that's why it's important that please kindly click on the link in the chat box and join me on Miro and type this thing in yourself. That will help you a lot, because when you go to the workplace and you need to use this tool, you will have to open it yourself and invite others. And if you're going there as a project manager, one of the first things you should know is that being able to introduce new tools, new ways of doing things is what will set you apart. When you go into an organization, there's always a different way that people do things. Sometimes they're not even doing it the right way. If you want to impress them as soon as you come in, being able to have the versatility to use different tools at the same time and achieve results that people are not able to achieve is one of the first things that will enable you to do well. So that's why it's important that you participate. So having said that, thank you. I will go on. Now we're going to look at it. So now we want to solve the problem of social connection, or we want to solve the problem of finding the right job. So if I'm somebody who is in the UK and I want to find the right job, what are the problems that I have with finding the right job? You might say, your skills are not, we are just brainstorming now. My skills are not recognized. My skill set is not recognized. That's one way. Sorry. My skill set is not recognized, meaning that even though you came from your country with a degree in business admin or a degree in biomedical sciences or whatever, they really don't recognize it here, which means that when you use it to apply, it doesn't really make sense. Then, not understanding the UK system of work. All right. Another problem you could have if you are actually looking for a job, not having the right skill set. Another issue you could have, apart from not having the right skill set, no UK experience. I think that's the one that everybody knows. They'll tell you you don't have UK experience. You keep wondering, what is UK experience? UK experience at the end of the day is typically you've not worked in the UK before. It doesn't matter whether what you did in Nigeria is far better than what you have here. What they are saying here is that you've not worked in the UK before. Because you don't have UK experience, we really can't bypass somebody who has worked here and give you the job. So they will always give it to somebody who has a UK experience, who has worked here, who has learned how to talk with them. And I understand that I was discussing with somebody today, and I said that even though for you may feel bad when they tell you you don't have their experience or you've not worked with them before. The reason why it is so is now that when I started working in UK, I realized that obviously they have different mannerisms, they have different way of speaking, they have a different culture. And so when you go to work with them, understanding their culture and understanding how it is that they talk and how you can decipher what they are saying is part of what will help you to do well there. Because if you don't understand their culture, you keep clashing, and that's obviously not tell well on you in the workplace. So the good thing about it is that if you have taken the time, maybe you worked a minimum wage job, at least you begin to understand a bit of what it is that they are like. But having a UK experience in that same job that you're looking for will help a lot. So I've like kind of listed some of the problems you may be facing. So this Miro, this thing is just for brainstorming. So assuming you have a team of 10, 15 people, and you guys are trying to solve a problem, you can all come here and, everybody starts putting down their own ideas. You understand? They start putting down what they think the problem is. Now, remember while I was talking about design thinking, I said you need to empathize with the user. So what is it that we're going to do next? The next thing you're going to do is to try to draw what we call an empathy map. So I'm going to move from here. I'm going to move from here to that empathy map. So remember, the problem we're trying to solve is like finding the right job. That's what we're trying. If we try to do social connection, it will be quite long, and I don't want us to waste so much time. So let's just do one that is simple. So let's go to Miro again. I'm going to Miro again. I've opened different boards here. So this is an empathy map. Don't worry, they already have templates. So even if you don't know how to create one, just go to their template and pick it. This is an empathy map. And in this empathy map, what you're trying to do here is to ask yourself, what does the user think and feel? What do they hear? What do they see? And, sorry, if you say a bit, what do they say and do? Okay? So now, let's go. If you want to pick up I know there's one sticky note here, but if you want to pick up a sticky note here, just click here and drag it. It will come here. So we are going to do something now. We're going to say, what does the person who is looking for a job think and feel? I will just go here and type something. I really want a job that reflects my level of experience. This is what the person is thinking and feeling. You can also type the frustrations, because it's part of what it is that you want to understand. If you want to understand your user, you actually need to understand what their frustrations are. What is it that they are frustrated about? Why are my skills not recognized? Another thing I'm feeling, I don't like my minimum wage job. Sorry. Let's drag this here. My minimum wage job is stressful. So when I mean minimum wage, it could be a care job, it could be a factory worker job, it could be a retail job. My care job is stressful and makes me unwell. Yeah. If you've worked consistently there, you know that the back pain that comes with care job is not here. And not only care job, even in factory jobs or whatever, because you use your strength a lot. And so by the time you come back, you are tired. So these are the things that the person is likely to feel. So if you have been here for quite a while, there are certain things you will definitely hear about finding job here. Some of them could be opinions from your friends that will tell you you can't get a job. You can't get the one they told me, a managerial job here. It is only for the locals. Sorry, the managerial spelling is not, well, you can't get it. So that's what they tell you. That's what they hear. If you are listening to the right people, they will tell you you can get a job. You just need to get the skills that you want. So this one, you can get a job by reskilling. That's the one that a lot of people don't want to hear. A lot of people want to hear you can't get a job You are not a manager, just take what works and this is it. The moment you tell them you can reskill, they feel that you don't understand their problem until they see somebody who has done it. Then what do they say and do? That's where the issue is. This is where you make your decisions. What is it that people are likely to say? What do? They search online, of course. They search online for jobs. Search online for jobs. Those are the things that they do. Let's get another one. This one. So I'm just settle for the small job. End of story. Then some very wise ones. They reskill and keep trying until they find one. So what do they see? What are the things that you people who are likely? A lot of, okay, I've already written down a lot of people working minimum wage jobs have I written something here? Let me see. Okay. Emails with rejections. And let's not be too difficult. Sometimes they also see emails with offers. That's what we want, right? But before they can get to this point, they would have gone through a lot of all these things. So what you're actually doing here is empathizing with the user. So now that you have finished empathizing with the user, okay, I've seen your pain point, but I don't want to leave you where you are. Because remember, what you are trying to do is to design. Design thinking is about designing a solution for your customer, a solution that works. Now, we begin to move all these things. We divide everything that we have seen here into what? Pain and gain. So what are the pain points? We move. I really wanted a level of job that reflects my experience. We move it here. Sorry, there are already stuff here. This should be removed. I don't even know why it's still here. Yeah, delete it. We move this to this place. The reason why we are doing this is so that we are able to kind of gather all that is the person's pain into one place. Because if you don't see it, you won't be able to like begin to ask yourself, okay, how do I solve this person's problem? Because what we're doing here is trying to solve problems. And let me tell you something. This may look as simple as this looks. This takes a whole lot of work, especially when you're working with a team of people, you understand? Because unfortunately today, I don't have enough people contributing. So I'm kind of doing it alone. But if you had a team of 5 or 10, a lot of people will be here bringing these ideas. So you as the project manager, it's now your work to begin to what? Filter these ideas. So, oh, my job makes me unwell here. Oh, my skills are not recognized here. They are all the person's pain points. So you gather all the pain points to one place. Now you begin to ask yourself, how do we help this person? How are we going to solve this person's problem so the person does not have to go through these pains anymore? If my job is making me unwell, obviously the thing I have to ask myself is, what is it that I need to know? I need to find a job. Find a job that suits me. Okay? That's the first thing I need to do. That's the first thing I have to tell myself. I need to get that job that does not make me unwell. So maybe the reason why you're unwell is because the job is so stressful. You work from morning to morning, morning to night, and before you finish, your whole body is tired. So you need to find a job that suits your body personality, that does not allow you to work that much, but you still make more than what you're making before, because at the end of the day, you want to make money. Oh, my skills are not recognized. What is the solution to that? You need to reskill. So I remember there's a place where we talked about reskill and keep trying. Yeah. We can take this and just put here. We need to reskill. So for each of these pain points, what we are going to do is to find a solution for them. And when we have done all of this, we have gathered all this now. We are beginning to, like, in our mind, we are beginning to like find out that, okay, these are the ideas that we are going to be using to solve this person's pain problem. Because until you understand the pain points of your of your customer, you cannot design a solution that works for them. So for examples, oh, you reskill and then you keep trying. Another one could be you train and find internship to gain UK experience, right? Because if that's the common question, oh, you don't have UK experience, you have to find something that works. So now you have been able to bring together your solution. So what you're actually doing here is what we call ideation. You are actually ideating. You are trying to find a solution to this person's problem. Remember that while we are doing all this, you understand, even though this looks like it's something that is simple, if you are doing it in a team, it might not be so. Because there will be people in your team that will say, we don't think this is the solution, this is the other solution. There will probably some kind of arguments, and finally people will kind of whittle down and finally get to the list of all the ways that you're going to help this customer to get to the place where they get an email with offer, because that is what we are trying to do. So for example, now you might have come to this training now, and everything I'm doing here kind of represents what it is that you're going through. What you want is that one email that gives you an offer with a project management job offer in it. So to get you to this place where it is that you get these emails, we have to do a lot of these things. We have to reskill. We have to look at your CV. We have to rewrite the CV. We have to train you. We have to make sure we prepare you for the interview. And at the end of the day, the very thing that you want to get is the email. How do we know that this thing has worked? We can only say it has worked when you have gotten an email with offer. And it's just not only that for everybody. So many of the people who attended the training have gotten emails with offer. That's how we will know that it is working.